And we're moving on to a new film from Disney. Let's just hope they don't regurgitate some live action animation or one of their dodgy theme park rides. Andy, what is it?
We have Gerard Leto as the Hatbox Ghost in a new version of Disney's Haunted Mansion based on the chilling ride.
And let me tell you, it will fight back. Ghosts like to fight. For example, 1813, a group of mediums went into the house just a little north of here. It took 21 days. They worked their butts off and they got that deceased owner out of there. But they were all found. How old are you?
9.
Okay, I'm talking organs on the outside.
Oh, 9 is young.
It's not that young, girl. I was driving by 9. Look, I know that might have been an extreme example.
Yes.
But they were a group of amateurs. I am a professional, okay? I'm bona fide and qualified, certified, and I can get rid of what died.
How do you want to start with the Haunted Mansion?
Bear in mind, I saw this at a screening where there were 2 families with very young children and a baby who, as soon as the lights went out and people started screaming at the ghosts, decided to join in with the screaming, and the parents did not take it out for ages despite complaints, and there were kids running around. So, having said that, I read a review today of the Eddie Murphy version, which was 2003, and it said, not scary, not funny, what's the point? Ditto. This new version, not scary, not funny, even though we were laughing at that, but I think we were probably laughing at that for the wrong reasons. And what's the point? I've done the ride at Disney World in Florida. It brought back some nice nostalgic memories of being in America at Disney World and doing the ride. Other than that, it really isn't scary. It really isn't funny. Owen Wilson is Owen Wilson. We were just talking about Orlando Bloom. I don't think Owen Wilson can really act anything else other than himself. Gerard Leto, we know what we think of him. I just didn't get it. I just didn't see the need for it. It's a 12A. And again, within minutes of the film starting, they're talking about exorcisms and astral projections. And the kids are sat there going, what? What? And I'm still convinced we need a 12 certificate, even more so having seen this after having seen Barbie. But that's just me, it would appear. I thought it was a waste of time. I really didn't get anything out of it. I was glad when it was over, to be honest.
We actually have a insert here from Scott, so let's see what Scott thought about the Haunted Mansion.
As far as comedy horrors aimed at a younger audience go, I thought that Disney's Haunted Mansion was a really enjoyable film. I know that there was a previous version with Eddie Murphy, although I haven't seen that film. This one, I thought, it gave me a lot of laughs, and it also had 1 or 2 moments of genuine emotion in there, which I didn't expect from this movie. I thought the performances from a pretty stellar cast were really good. Lakeith Stanfield in the lead role impressed me a lot, and Tiffany Haddish, who can be a bit hit or miss at times. I thought this was one of her better performances that I've seen her in, at least lately. There's a few jump scares that could probably work for the kids, and the general atmosphere of the house, the actual Haunted Mansion, I thought it looked really good. Production design was impressive. Okay, the story isn't blowing anyone away, and the screenplay is certainly not going to be picking up any awards. But on the whole, it was a fun movie.
Okay, that's what Scott clearly liked it. I think more than you did, Andy. Emma, how about you? Where do you sit?
Some excellent takes there from Scott. I wholeheartedly
I think
agree.
He was on his way to a WWF bout against The Rock, I think.
Having been a Disney kid and going quite a few times, I did enjoy this for the nostalgia and the Easter eggs, and I thought they really captured it incredibly well. I haven't watched the Eddie Murphy one in a while, but I don't remember it being that closely connected with the actual events that happen in the ride and the experience. So for me, this really did capture that well. The right amount of cheese, just the right amount of spooky without being over the top. Like, I loved the humour of all the ghosts and things. I thought that was very amusing. I wasn't sold on Jamie Lee Curtis, and I didn't realise she was in it until she popped up on the titles. Yeah. I didn't think that was great. The standout performance for me, though, was Chase Dillon, who plays the son, Travis. I just thought he was incredible. Like, child actors can be a little bit hit and miss. And I just thought every scene he did, he was the star of it. I particularly liked, the back and forth he had with the Keith Stanfield. Found that to be a really good emotional sort of connection. Dealing with all the troubles he's got and what obviously the house is, trying to achieve. I really enjoyed myself. I did think it was funny. I chuckled quite a lot. And as I say, nostalgia probably did give it a few extra points, but even taking that out, I think we would have been still rating it highly.
It was certainly nostalgic, I agree, but to me it felt like it was ticking off boxes of, there's this bit in the ride, there's a bit in the graveyard with the spooky little men singing their song and all that stuff. To me, it was just kind of ticking boxes as it went through its script, trying to tick as many of them as possible and shoehorn them into the story. I was ticking off my comments here against what Andy was saying, and it's almost like I don't have to say anything else because Andy said just about everything that I've written down here. Not scary enough, not funny enough. I couldn't work out what audience this film was going for. It wasn't scary enough to scare teens the way that Scary Stories That They Tell in the Dark did with Guillermo del Toro. It wasn't funny enough.
I'd quite like to see him directing this story. Actually,
yeah, I think he was down at one point.
He was down originally, I think, or
he
one
was
of the original choices.
This. Yes.
Which that would have been a totally different film.
Interesting. Yeah. But I don't think it was scary enough for teens. I think it was too scary for kids under kind of 7 or 8. So that kind of leaves you kids in the 9 to 12 bracket, which is not a great kind of demo. They don't make a lot of movie-going decisions, that demographic. And I found myself, as the illustrious Mrs. Mann sitting next to me was sitting, looking at our watch, saying, "Is it over yet?" I mean, it didn't really grab me enough. Didn't hit enough buttons for me.
I think we should point out, shouldn't we, to anyone thinking of taking young kids, it is over 2 hours long.
Yes, it is a long film. If it was 90 minutes,
that was a surprise.
If it was a 90-minute film, I think it might have worked much better. When you said standout performance, though, Emma, I thought you were going to have the name that I'd written down, which was Lakeith Stanfield. I thought he was absolutely fantastic in this as an actor. I thought he did an absolutely fantastic job. It reminded me of Belosh looking into the pit of souls, say, "Whatever are you doing in such a nasty place?" What was he doing in this film? What I thought was a relatively poor film, but such a great acting performance. Scores on the doors. Here's what Scott thought.
For me, I would rate Haunted Mansion 7 out of 10.
Andy?
4. I'm sorry, Emma, but I'm going for a 4.
Emma?
I gave it a 9. It's massively rewatchable for me.
9. Wow. And I'm afraid I'm giving it a 4 as well. So that's 4, and 4 is 8. And 9 is 17, and 7 is 24. That's a 6 out of 10 for the Flickering Dreams score, making it a... Sorry, Emma. Never want to see that one again.